Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how I film and edit my videos with Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra and explain some technical aspects and also check what's new. I'm mainly a photographer and content creator, and I found S26 Ultra to be super useful to make my first steps in videography. And I'm sure it's also super useful if you are already a professional videographer, because now you can get professional footage with your smartphone. I personally switched from S23 Ultra to S26 Ultra, so there are lots of new things for me to try out and learn. So I'm going to show you my process. So let's begin. When we go to camera app, first we of course have a default camera. Here we can also get good quality results and use a few settings to make everyday videos look great. I usually shoot with standard format, but we also have HDR. What's the difference between HDR and regular video? HDR means high dynamic range. It captures a wider range of brightness. Highlights don't blow out and the colors are more vivid. File size is also larger. I sometimes use it when the light is very contrasty and hard to capture, but I usually film with standard format SDR, as I like to edit my videos manually. I use 4K 30 FPS, sometimes 60 FPS if I think I want to slow down my video. I like to use wide 1x and telephoto 3x lenses. Also a quick tip. If the visual is too bright, just hold the sun icon and lower the exposure. This way the footage looks much better, much sharper and crispier. But this is for everyday things. If you want more control over the videos, we go to Pro Video. Here we have everything we need to get the highest quality videos. Before I get into more details, you can click 4 dots right here. Go to Settings, download Camera Assistant. And the good thing about Samsung is that you can customize lots of things, and Camera Assistant gives you many options. I don't have much tips here. It is something you should set up for yourself and your own comfort and preferences. For example, if you feel like it softens your images and videos too much, that's not a problem. You can adjust it the way you prefer. Now let's move on to the video format. Here we have two main options: HEVC and H.264. What's the difference between them? HEVC, newer and more advanced compression, smaller file size but same quality, gives more details. A bit harder to edit and can be sometimes limited on certain devices or social media apps. I personally don't have any trouble with that, so I use this one. H.264, an older codec, bigger file sizes. Easy to edit both on smartphones and computer. Very compatible on all devices and social media apps. So it depends on your preferences and possibilities, but to be honest with you, both formats will provide you good quality, so you can test whichever performs better for you. I use HEVC, and on S26 Ultra it preserves better details at night and high contrast scenes. Then I also have high bitrate video on, which is basically more data per second. So the higher the bitrate, the better. Before moving on to the log format, let's check what we have in the Pro mode. In Pro mode we have 120 FPS and 24 FPS options as well. But I still tend to use 30 FPS daily. Here we have the main settings that you must learn to professionally film videos. Here we have ISO and shutter speed. With these we control the exposure of the video. Shutter speed is how long each frame is exposed to light. Slow shutter, longer exposure, plus more motion blur. Faster shutter, shorter exposure, less light, and sharper motion. ISO is sensitivity to light. Lower, the darker and cleaner the image. Higher, brighter but a bit more noisy. The ISO rule is to keep it as low as possible. About shutter speed, golden rule though. The 180-degree rule. For example, if you shoot 30 FPS, use shutter speed of 160. If you use 60 FPS, use shutter speed of 120, and etc. This way you will get the most natural looking motion. Of course, sometimes you can break these rules, especially if you are not really capturing too much movement and love to film still and calm videos like me. Sometimes we have to break the rule to get the video correctly exposed. So by adjusting these two parameters, we control the brightness and motion. Each kind of situation requires its own setting, but once you get the hang of it, it's super quick and easy to adjust. Let's check what else we have here. We have focus options here, center, multi and manual, and white balance, which is very important. I like the way Samsung captures the white balance, but you can switch to manual and adjust temperature yourself. Left is colder, bluer, right is warmer, yellower, and tint. Left is greener, right is purpler. EV, exposure value. This controls the brightness and adjusts the ISO and shutter speed automatically, but it's better to learn controlling them yourself. Additionally, we have a great tool to control the highlights so everything is balanced. Click two circles here. Zebra pattern. It tells us if the highlights are too bright and burnt. And also false color, which is a more detailed version of it. Those are very important tools, but now let's go to the log format. I'm in love with this format. It's designed to preserve more information even though it looks flat and washed out at first. It's like raw canvas that you can paint on, so if you want to shoot and edit professionally, it is better to shoot in log format. To edit this professionally, you would need a video editor, but S26 Ultra now has LUTs, which are some color grading options. Here they are. This is standard, blockbuster, coming of age, romance, thriller. I feel like this can be useful for people with different kind of taste. My personal favorite is blockbuster. We can change LUTs here, but I would recommend to shoot with LUTs off, because then we can edit it in the inbuilt editor. This way you can save the flat video that you might use in future, and also experiment with inbuilt LUTs and filters provided in S26 Ultra editor. When you film with the LUTs off, you have to be a bit careful, because if you apply some contrast or just see how the standard video looks, you might film it with the wrong settings, and when you try to edit it, it will turn out too dark or bright. So while setting up the parameters, I would recommend switching to the standard LUT, and once you are happy with how it looks, then you can turn it off. This way you will be safe, especially at first when your eyes are not really used to how log format works. Now the final format, which is a new feature. APV, Advanced Professional Video. It is designed for highest quality possible, keeps much more data, and is designed for better professional editing workflow. So if you want the best possible outcome and you are planning to edit everything you shoot professionally, use APV plus log format. As I want to keep editing everything with S26 Ultra and I want a compatible format for social media apps, I only use log format and HEVC format. Then I color grade them in the inbuilt editor. As I mentioned before, here we have LUTs and basic adjustment options that you are going to need, like exposure, saturation, contrast, and etc. Additionally, after you apply the LUT that you like, you can move on to the filters. Here I can add more color grading options on top of that. And of course, in each I can control the strength of the filter, color temperature, contrast and saturation. This is super easy to use, and the final result depends on your taste. I really like the blockbuster LUT, and then I just do a few corrections here and there. I also really like the sunbeam filter. Now, a very cool thing you can do. For example, I edited this video and really like these colors, and I want to apply these colors on other videos. I simply take a screenshot, go to the video that I want to edit. Here you see a plus sign. You can select that picture you screenshotted, and it will automatically match. You might ask, why not just copy-paste the setting? Because it's different. You can literally screenshot any photo and it will match it. You don't need any settings. Just a screenshot. Then if you like it, you can save it as a custom filter and reuse it, and also adjust its intensity. So here are some of my shots filmed with log formats and color graded in S26 Ultra. Let's recap what's new. Firstly, the horizontal lock, another cool stabilization feature. I think it's underrated. Some people think that the only case they're going to need this feature is when they have to spin the phone. I can't lie, that looks cool and some people have already made some fun content with it, but that's just another good stabilization feature. You can tilt your phone however you find it comfortable and it will be just locked in one place. It is useful in extreme conditions where you have to run and film, and it's just for active people and mostly sports. It's like an action camera. And it shoots in QHD, which is pretty good, but for the best result, try to film it in daylight. Samsung had log format in previous models, but now we have inbuilt LUTs, which I personally really enjoy. I don't have to use the computer, I can just color grade my log footage in the phone and post it right away. New APV format, which is super useful for professional editors and videographers. And in general, better processing of the images and videos. Especially nighttime, the footage is just much smoother and less noisy. And wider aperture, which really helps with that. So that's my process. Using HEVC format, mostly shooting with SDR daily. Using APV format if I need it for professional projects. Using default camera daily. Prioritizing highlights. Lowering exposure for better looking videos. Using Pro Video. Adjusting ISO and shutter speed. Prioritizing highlights here as well. It's easier to get details from the shadows than from the highlights. Keeping ISO as low as possible. Adjusting shutter speed accordingly. Using log format and LUTs for getting professional looking videos that can be easily color graded and posted right away. I really hope this video was useful and informative. I tried to explain some technical aspects easily and shortly so it's not too confusing. If you're interested in anything about Galaxy S26 Ultra or just smartphone videography or photography in general, let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye!